The conversation of the day, which is the developments within the PDP. The recent court judgment from a high court in Oyo State that gives the PDP the green light that it needs, at least one part of the PDP led by Damagun, to go ahead with the November 15 and 16 convention that was already planned for. But beyond just giving it the green light, it has also mandated INEC to attend, which we now know obviously is a necessary part of the problem. Let's bring in a PDP chieftain who understands the history behind the drama and what is unfolding right before our eyes. SASA Chairman, Chief Emmanuel Ogidi, is here to provide some context to this development. Thank you very much for stopping by as always. Good to see you again.
Good to see you too.
Right, a lot to talk about the PDP drama unfolding, but first I want to get your 2 cents on what has become the national debate over the last couple of days. As a Nigerian, you've seen the rhetoric, you've seen the narratives, online, offline, the threats, and the counter messaging, China's support, ECOWAS response, Nigeria's government's position on what's been happening. Just give me your 2 cents quickly on what you think, what you make of what's happening.
Do you know what concerns me more? It's the near death of democracy in Nigeria. This is an aside as far as I'm concerned. Because this government is trying to kill democracy. To me, this is more important. You see, let's not go into the comments they make about this. We know what happened. There's banditry, there's insecurity. It's known. It's good. We can ask for support and that. But are we really making effort? We're not. The late Abacha said, any insurgency you cannot handle within 24 hours, there's interest. So what are we discussing? There's interest. That goes back to what happened at the Secretariat yesterday. The self-city police took sides. You see, you're talking about division. There's no division in PDP. Let me correct something. There's no division. After the court judgment, which to me is a comedy, well, there's no judgment. I feel sad.
You're talking about what happened on Thursday?
Yeah.
The court judgment on Thursday?
That's what I'm talking about now. Because like I said, I've just dismissed what happened. Because there's a threat to democracy. If you add that to what is going on, then we're in deep trouble. Yes, you may say PDP has one day, one trouble. Yes. It's been instigated by this APC government too. So there's a threat to democracy. There's insecurity, there's everything. Now there's a threat to democracy. And we need to address it. All what is happening to PDP today is about the breakdown of democracy. Because this government wants to run a one party. They know they have not performed well. So they want the umbrella. It's like what late Abacha wanted to do that time, where all the 5 leprous fingers were all agreed and endorsed him. And that's what he's doing. Imagine our governors living on.
You think tinubu is trying to replicate that? He's trying to replicate what Abacha did?
He's done 80% of the damage already, 80%. But he won't succeed.
Well, you look at that video, right?
Yes.
It tells a very clear picture of the dysfunction that has become a new normal in the PDP. In that video, if we roll it again, thugs,
yes,
PDP officials, the embattled secretary of the party, a good number of the National Working Committee, people, personnel, the police personnel armed to the teeth.
No.
These are all PDP individuals that we're seeing in the video.
That's what you
so where is the APC element in this?
This is not PDP you're looking at.
We're looking at National Working Committee members of the PDP.
No. How many are seen the other two?
Well, actually, I can see more than two.
No, National Working Committee, they're two different. Maybe you don't understand. This man you're seeing there is one. That's National Chairman South, National Vice Chairman South, and Anyanwu Secretary. There are only two there. Only two. Alongside
other senior
hirelings, right. Not senior hirelings. They're thugs. I was almost attacked. Now we're supposed to have a meeting yesterday morning for 10. When I arrived at the gate, they've taken over the place. Just when they recognized they wanted to open the gate, these thugs, there was this surge. They're not PDP people. They're not. How do you get to that level? See, on Saturday, we had an emergency end of this meeting. And 14 of us took that position because before then, on the 30th of September, we have served them a warning and told them that if they continue in that path, they'll be punished. So it was not as if we just wanted to do it. No. It was exactly 1 month after.
So, this factionalization of the PDP, talk to me about it.
We are disciplined members.
During this particular sit down, they spoke to the press and they have obviously made their position known about them taking over. I mean, this is literally the office of the chairman of the PDP.
Yes.
They have Comrade Abdurrahman seated there. What does this say about the state of the PDP as a political party?
It was staged because they wanted us to react so that the police would come and then they close the office. We didn't give them that joy. And let me use the opportunity to commend our staff that they beat up for not resisting. Because if we had done that, see, look, we are 14. The NWC today is made up 18 members. Because remember, IU has left. It should have been 19. Now, 14 met to discipline 3. And the NWC NWC Central, North Central, went somewhere. We didn't know that it was hiding on the wing. This is treachery. This is treachery.
Let's talk about those suspensions, Chief.
Yeah, good.
What gave birth to the suspension of, most notably, the National Secretary of the PDP?
You see, you must perform your duties. Recently, he has abandoned the office. See, in the last 2 months, he has not been to the office. Yesterday was when he went to the office.
No, but we saw him last week when Sule Lamido came to the Secretariat asking for
that was against stage management. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
But he was at the Secretariat.
We didn't say he didn't come. Don't get me wrong. He came on that day. He's against this stage management that they do. He doesn't come to meetings. See, the PDP Constitution is very clear. Let me tell you, chapter 5. When we talk about the functions of the national officer, the chairman is the chief executive officer of the party. And one of his functions is to summon meetings. The next group that can summon that kind of meeting is 2/3 of the NWC. If the chairman fails to call that meeting, the secretary is only to comply and send out the message. And even the secretary, in discharge of his responsibility, must consult with the chairman. It's technically in our constitution. So I don't know where the secretary is now saying he's in charge. What, in charge of what? No, it's not true. Yes, he handles the administrative works. Administrative.
And do you think the disciplinary processes, according to the party's constitution, has been followed?
Yeah, sure.
To the latter, when it came to the suspension?
We gave warning. We gave warning.
At what point?
The letters were issued on the 30th of September. The letters were issued and they were received on the 3rd of October. And we told them to desist from their unruly behavior. And they continued. So we had no choice than to suspend them. We followed their due process.
Well, so talk to me then about the end game here. Because some would have said, listen, Anyanwu has been dealing with this pushback from the governors, from the other side of the equation for the longest time until they conceded and allowed him to serve out the rest of his term. Good. I mean, you're just a couple of weeks away from your elective convention. It sounds to me that this is what the PDP should have thought would possibly happen, that if you take this path, things could become messy in a heartbeat. And you did it anyway.
You see, like the court will say, there should be an end to litigation. There should be an end to indiscipline now. We've been using the carrot. See, the Bible says, spare the rod and spoil the child. Yes, somebody say it is too late. It's never too late. We have to take that action because, first of all, they went to the court to embarrass the party. No, can you imagine the legal advisor going to court to accept the request of the plaintiff? What kind of legal advisor is that? And I hope and pray that we're going to take decision to write against him to the NJC. Because what he did was wrong.
So just another question on the suspension.
Yeah.
Did you at any point in time form a disciplinary committee, which is, by the way, part of the PDP guidelines? Before?
We have statutory.
And was Senator Anyanwu and all the others invited by the disciplinary committee to answer for this quote-unquote wrongdoing?
Maybe you didn't understand the procedure. We have the power to suspend and refer the matter to the disciplinary committee. So the matter will be referred to the disciplinary committee, who will now invite them and see what was said about it.
So you're essentially saying you can suspend them if you have the majority, and then refer them to the disciplinary committee, which will then do what exactly?
To examine what we said.
I mean, that sounds to me like medicine after death. If they're already suspended, then that sounds like punishment.
It's like in the office. You first issued query. We gave them
query is there's a whole lot of difference between query and suspension.
No. We have earlier warned them in the letter I was talking about, written and signed on the 30th of September, which they received on the 3rd of October. So what are you talking about? And then that if they continue in what they are doing, then they'll be punished. So they'll give 1 month.
So correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
If we're doing a step-by-step analysis of how this works,
sure,
there has to be a complaint, which according to you is the National Secretary has not been attending meetings, boycotting his role as National Secretary of the PDP. Then there has to be some sort of investigation about what he had done, right or wrong?
Of course.
Then the disciplinary committee comes in.
No, look, that's what I'm trying to say. Look, we are members of the NWC. If your colleague is failing the response, you will know. And then that committee also has the power to discipline its members. It's there.
Yeah, so I'm saying, at what point was he taken to the disciplinary committee for action?
You're not listening now.
It sounds like there's a skipping of a step, and that's why
there's no skipping of any step. There's no skipping, no. When they started what they were doing, we first of all did oral warning. We are members, we should be disciplined, we should do this, us members. Then it got a hit, then we have to now put it in writing. That's what I'm talking about. And it was sent to them. And they acknowledged the receipt of it. And then they continued in what we said they shouldn't do.
Which is, if you have to be very detailed about what they did wrong.
I don't need to tell you what they did. I will send you the letters. You read it.
Would you say it's anti-party activities?
Of course, anti-party activities.
Do you consider them double agents?
They are.
Working for?
For the paymasters.
Right. Who shall remain nameless, I guess.
The city master is their master now. He's the one paying them. And he's working for this government. So what do you expect? He's employed. Look, see, there's a conflict of interest here, no matter how you look at it. And the Bible has warned against it. You cannot serve two masters.
So you question their loyalty, you question their commitment to the PDP, and you thought the best way to get rid of them...
You cannot be working for APC, for God's sake, and you're telling me you're in PDP.
Okay, logically speaking, Chief, some would say all you had to do was wait a couple of more weeks for the convention to happen, which is going to be an elective convention, and you replace virtually everything. All you had to do was wait. In hindsight, do you think that the suspension of Anyanwu and the rest was a mistake?
If they continue to remain in our meeting, maybe you still don't understand, it will be worse for us.
You think they could have sabotaged the convention?
Well, yes, they would have. Their action in the first place was trying to sabotage this convention by their going to court. Maybe you don't understand the process.
I mean, going to court is a legal thing. They have the constitutional right to do that.
Yes, no, wait. Maybe you're not following. You went to court. You pretended to be a defendant. When you're a plaintiff. How does that work out? Let me tell you what happened in the court. They were smart, but to their own destruction. The three plaintiffs the chairman of Abia, chairman of I think.
Was it Imo, I think?
With an Imo.
Right.
And then Tona. Now, who are the defenders? Number one, INEC. Number two, PDP. Number three, Bature, organizing secretary, is defendant. Number four, Anyanwu, the secretary. Then the NWC, sorry, the NEC.
And the court saw reason why the PDP should
I've not finished.
do things by the book.
When I said no, they did it behind. The court said no, serve the defendants. Ajibade took that of PDP, took that of NWC, and did not tell us. And did not mention to us. What do you think is that?
Right. I mean, earlier on you were talking about how some of the members were just in the minority. You take a look at that piece of paper showing on the TV screen about the resolution of the National Working Committee, where you have the signatories, obviously. Senator Anyanwu, Bature, Kamaluddin Ajibade, Barrister Okechukwu.
Yes, Deputy Legal Advisor.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, in the final analysis, the big question is what comes next regarding the convention. You've now secured a court order from the State High Court in Oyo that says, listen, go ahead. You have the green light. Yeah. Meanwhile, in Abuja last week, the Federal High Court has stopped that convention from proceeding until you do the needful. What are the chances that this convention is doomed to be yet another legal battle that doesn't end anytime soon?
How can it be doomed? You see, look, the life of this NWC is supposed to expire on the 16th of November. But because they were sworn in on the 9th of December, so you can now say it's 9th December. If after the convention we have gotten all our officers, then the new NWC will deal with the issues.
You don't have any concerns about the legitimacy of the convention? The questions that would arise from the convention, from the courts?
What courts?
I mean, if there is a court order that stops you from going ahead, and you've secured another one that gives you the right, don't you think that this is grounds for more litigations in the future? No,
they're coordinate. They will go to, of course, they go to appeal. Let the appeal court decide. See, we've done this thing before. When they brought an impostor, Sheriff, to become chairman of PDP in 2016, 2017, we followed the matter up to Supreme Court. And Supreme Court has ruled again that leave the parties to do whatever they are doing.
As long as it's in compliance
with... And we are following we are complying. And then they jump into the other way.
All right. Let's talk about the trade-offs here. Nigerians are watching keenly, and so many people have...
And that's why we're doing what we're doing, to explain to Nigerians exactly what is happening.
Do you think you're losing political currency, relevance, and integrity with this dramatic show? How are you gaining?
Let me explain to you today.
When there are thugs, there's police in your headquarters.
They sympathize with us because the weekend-led group came with thugs. It is very clear, and we didn't respond. We didn't respond. We have the capacity to respond, but we said no. They're watching us. They see that we're disciplined. We're disciplined.
As a final thought,
November
14, November 16, do you expect this convention to take place?
Yes.
And I've asked you this question, I think, a little over a week ago when we had this conversation, whether this is going to be a new chapter. Do you still stand by that?
It's going to be a new chapter. Yes, I stand by that. New chapter. Because all these things about one man, one leg here, one leg will not be there at that time. We won't allow it happen.
All right. Until the next drama, Chief Emmanuel Ogidi, thank you so much for joining us on Daily Politics. I appreciate the analysis. Hope to see you soon.
Good.
Something tells me it's not going to be long before we talk about PDP again. One day, one drama. That's what you said.
PDP is the most viable opposition party that the government of today wants to destroy. But it's indestructible.
Okay. That statement shall be tested by time,
Okay.
obviously.
Right.
Chief, thank you so much for stopping by this evening. It's good to see you again.